the director of Dumb and Dumber, Kingpin, Something About Mary, Me, Myself, and Irene, Shallow Hal, and more. Peter Farrelly, the director of Loudermilk, coming to audience, coming up next Tuesday, October 17th, right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Good to see you, Peter.
Nice to see you, Rich. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming back.
I love it here.
You were here in just one of the first couple weeks of our show, you and Bobby, your brother. We surprised you with Brett.
Yeah,
with
that was a treat.
Who you had not seen since Something About Mary, right? Is that
yes?
the truth?
It's funny. You hardly see anybody when you do a movie. It's like you're carnies. You go off, everybody goes in different directions. I probably see Cameron Diaz 3 times since that movie.
Is that right?
And by the way, she also lives in my hometown, in the town I'm in. She's in Ojai.
So you haven't even run into her
Never
in the
run
supermarket?
Into her. I hear about her all the time.
How about Ben Stiller? Have you seen him since then?
I've seen Ben a little more because I was good friends with his mom and dad, and I actually was in better touch. I was in touch with them, and I'd bump into, hey Ben, how you doing?
Ben.
Hanging with the parents.
Right. And now you and I first met years and years and years ago. I was still on SportsCenter. We met at the Brad Faxon, Billy Andrade charity golf tournament in Rhode Island, because those guys are Rhode Island guys.
Exactly.
And how did you ever get fixed up with those guys,
the
golfers?
Rhode Island's a small place, as you might know, and so everybody knows everybody, and I knew those guys. But I remember, in fact, I was just putting on your putting green over here beforehand, and I remember Brad. Brad was he was always the best putter on tour. I think for 10 years in a row, he was in the top 5 putters on tour. And one day I asked him, I said, so what's the key to like these, 5 foot and less? What's the thing? He says, just don't give a shit. I said, yeah, but seriously, what's the key? He goes, that's it. Just don't give a shit. I was like, how can you not give a shit? He goes, you just don't. He goes, I know I'm going to miss some every now and then, but I don't give a shit.
But the problem is you can't turn your brain off like that
You'd
normally,
think.
right?
He can. He just doesn't care. He just poof.
That's
it. Don't care. If you care, it's going to be hard.
But why doesn't that work for Jay Cutler? Because he's, you know what I mean. What works for Faxon has not worked for Jay Cutler to this point.
Well, it's like this. If I had say I had a thing that wide, that went across this room,
about 5 feet wide,
just like this. No, like this 2.5 feet, say, and I had to walk across that room, right? On that's a breeze, and anybody could do it.
Yes.
Put that up a half a mile high, and it's that wide. I'll probably fall off because you care. And that's what he does. He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. And then it's always going to be makeable.
How is your golf game, Peter?
Not good. Not good. I'm an 18, but I could easily blow over 100, or if I have a really nice round, I'm like 88, 89.
See, but for me, I'm the same exact way.
Yeah.
And I just wish I cared enough, just to use this analogy to continue it on. I mean, I'd love to, trust me, I would love to be one of those guys that shoots 72, 73. Good day, maybe I'm in the 60s.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got the mental capacity for that sort of thing.
I'm the exact same thing. I'll be on a golf course and I'll hit a shot and I'll think, oh, I know exactly what I did wrong there. And I'll be walking to my next shot. And in between there, all I'm thinking about is my old girlfriend from high school, what I had for dinner last night, where are we going tonight, the restaurant, my dog, did I take him to the vet? And I get up to the shot, like, what was that again? I was trying to think of. I don't focus on the game. I'm terrible about that. And that's why I've never been good. And also I don't like hitting balls. Hitting balls it makes me sore.
I'm the same way as you.
It's just like going,
friends of mine, but so we'll tee off around like 11 o'clock. So show up around 9:30.
Yeah.
We'll get something to drink or eat, and then we'll hit some balls.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like.
It hurts to hit balls. It's painful. But also, you feel like, well, wait a second. I might hit all the good shots on the range.
Yeah.
Maybe I should hold off and save them. Save them for the game. I don't want to waste them out there.
Right.
I hate hitting balls. But all the guys I play with, they're there 45 minutes, an hour early, banging away.
I know. I just can't do it. Peter Farrelly, director of Loudermilk, coming to Audience Network next week. And, of course, some of the funnier comedies in recent past, joining me here on The Rich Eisen Show. So you're just a really laid-back New England dude, okay? Where's the anger in your sports fandom? Because normally every Red Sox, Patriot, Bruin, Celtic fan has to be angry when they win at somebody or something. Are you?
I never got that. I never understood that. I'm not angry like that. Well, even when we lost, and when I grew up, we always lost. Red Sox always lost. Patriots always lost.
Yes.
We had 1 in 15 seasons with the Pats. And I grew up 15 minutes from Foxborough. I was at all those games, and it was painful. But I never had anger. In fact, I don't even have anger towards. I never had anger towards the Yankees. Like, you know, people who hate the Yankees are like, I like the Yankees. They're our rivals. I mean, there's something about them I like. Like, I never hated, first of all, they're not like Bernie Williams and guys like this. They're likable. I didn't hate those guys. I didn't want them to win.
Sure.
But I have no animosity toward them. I just want us to beat them.
Brockman, is this the only Red Sox Patriot guy that you've ever met? That's like that?
Well, he's a very level-headed man. I'm not. If you watched the show yesterday, I'm not a level-headed.
Yes, he couldn't handle it.
I never understood why everybody hates A-Rod. Like, you know, A-Rod, I'm just telling you the truth. Like, I always thought he was, they made a little too much. Like, he hit the guy's glove out of the way. It's like, you know.
Oh, he did that to Bronson Arroyo,
Bronson Arroyo,
right?
yeah.
I mean, you know, I just thought, man, you know, he didn't bug me. He didn't bug me. And then Jeter, of course, you love Jeter. So how am I going to hate that?
No, you don't love Jeter.
I love Torre. I love Joe Torre when he was the manager. And I even liked Jason Giambi because he was the only steroid guy who admitted it. Only guy who admitted it. He came right out and said, yeah, I used steroids. I did it. I shouldn't have.
Peter, if only more could be like you.
No, it was, I kind of admired the guy. I still do admire him.
What about Roger Goodell? Do you have a problem with him?
I don't like Roger. Don't like Roger. I don't like authority figures like that.
Oh, just in general.
Well, that's too much. Like he's this kind of like, I make the rules. You just got to pay. Like there's no. Listen. I believe you have a right to your day in court, and he doesn't give you that. That's what pisses me off about him.
Peter Farrelly here on the Rich Eisen Show, and just to circle back, Faxon and Andrade, the professional golfers, were in the opening scene of Kingpin, right? In the disco bowling scene, right? They were in there too.
Yeah.
They got those cameos going.
Yeah. No, we had
disco bowling.
Well, we always, you know, we're sports fans. We grew up sports fans, and so when we started making movies, it was an opportunity to meet some. The first one we did, of course, we put Cam Neely in there. We knew Cam.
That's right, Cam.
Cam was friends with Woody Harrelson. Was my roommate when I moved to L.A. in the '80s.
No way.
Yeah. And he was good friends with, and then he got on Cheers, and he was friends with Michael J. Fox, who was friends with Cam Neely. They'd played hockey together growing up. So we started hanging around with this. So when we made the movie, I said, hey, we should put Cam in there because he'd be a good, big character actor. And then from that point on, we just said, hey, this is fun. So we'd call our, you know, the guys. Tom Brady was in one with Lawyer Malloy and Brett Favre, you know, all our favorites. The guy I never work with who I just think is not just like obviously, you know, unbelievable athlete, but maybe one of the best actors I've ever seen.
Peyton Manning.
I'm telling you, he could win an Oscar. I'm not kidding you. He's not just okay. He is as good as most actors I work with. If in the right role, that guy could win an Oscar, and that's the God's honest truth. He's that good. He's that good. He's never had a bad commercial.
I would agree with you on that front.
Yeah, he makes it. He makes it just little tiny things. He just finds these little things because he's not afraid to commit. He's not afraid. Like, they get embarrassed. That's what happens. Actors get embarrassed. They don't want to make a fool of themselves, but he doesn't care, and that makes him a great actor.
I would agree with you. The Saturday Night Live skit where they did the fake United Way commercial where he's whizzing the balls at the kids' heads.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. He tells a great story about how the parents, you know, were watching on the sideline, and they're like, you know, he was concerned.
Oh, yeah.
The parents of the kid actors, he was concerned about it. And they were like, just, no, go for it. And he committed.
I always thought he and Owen Wilson should do a movie together because they're very similar. If you listen to their cadence, it's a very kind of like, you know, where in the history of our relationship do you think I came up with that? Like, he's got that same kind of like vibe, and those two as like buddies or somewhere that'd be a great movie, and he could pull it off.
Let's do it. I mean, you got your hands full with Loudermilk right now. All right. Let's spitball on this. And speaking of Loudermilk, again, that starts on Audience.
Let's speak of that.
Tuesday, October 17th, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, starring Ron Livingston playing a recovering alcoholic substance abuse counselor who's got a little bit of bad attitude.
He's an ex-rock and roll critic who was on tour with rock bands for 20 years, and he went off the rails, got into drugs, alcohol, everything, like the poor guy in Miami this week.
Yeah, the offensive line coach. Good Lord.
And he's now cleaning it up and trying to get his crap together. And but he's a little angry about everything. But it's not. It doesn't take place in a 12-step meeting. But you meet the people in it, and you go on and you follow them, and it's a comedy, but it's definitely got some a little more than that.
Well, Ron Livingston is perfect for that.
Phenomenal.
He really can do the serious.
Yeah.
And then the comedy. Office Space is one of my favorite movies of his. What did you think of Office Space?
Classic. In fact, Mike Judge is a national treasure, and I thought Office Space was just a masterpiece. And then when Idiocracy came out, I was there Friday night, opening weekend, went to that thing. My wife and I were there, and I remember thinking, this is one of the great movies of all time, and it will do zero business because it's so odd. But now it's like come true. He's prescient.
Mike Judge is, yeah. And
it's the only time I've ever used that word. I hope I used it correctly.
Well, I think, we turned 3 the other day. That might be the first, use of prescient. I don't know.
I think you're right.
I might be wrong in using that, but
so again, to sum it all up, Ron Livingston, Will Sasso's in this too.
Will Sasso is so hysterical.
Funny.
Like anything, it doesn't work without the two of them. The heart and soul is Ron Livingston, but Will Sasso there's nothing he's in that isn't funny. He just makes everything funny. And like I said, there was a girl, Anna Savchik, who's crazy good. And then we have Brian Regan, the stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Maybe the best stand-up comedian working today, by the way.
And that's saying a mouthful. I mean, it's great. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Audience Network via DirecTV, AT&T Uverse, and DirecTV Now. Tuesday, October 17th at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So to sum up, watch Loudermilk. And then Brockman, this is truly the only New England sports fan who talks well of Alex Rodriguez.
I know, I don't believe that.
And just is cool as a cucumber. You and I can hang out anytime, but you already knew that coming in.
Yeah, we've done it before.
Very good. Good to see you, Peter.
Thanks, Rich.
Say hi to Bobby
Appreciate
for me, too.
I will.
Peter Farrelly, at Farrelly Brothers on Twitter, and check out again Loudermilk, Tuesday, October 17th, right here on Audience at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and Audience.
If you like that, please download our app. There's lots of fun things there other than just more of the videos you just saw. You can call us from the app. You can email us from the app. Just download it. Trust me, you'll enjoy it.